Hey Virgo, here we go. And so we have the Page of Swords. So this again is communication. This is sort of a double communication card because pages are about messages, communication, and swords are about thoughts and communication. And so in the workplace, I would say kind of echoing what I had just said about the Two of Swords, is to really, your communication skills are really going to be strongly needed. There's going to be tons of information coming back and forth, tons of new information, and you're going to have to communicate things as well. But it's also, I would caution again about, or not caution, but just highlight how important it is to listen, to really process and listen to information, and not necessarily be sitting there thinking about how you're going to respond in your point, but really just sort of taking the information in is going to be important this month. And we have the owl here and the moon, so really, a wise person really listens and observes. If you think about an owl, they're always just sort of looking around and trying to feel things out and see what's going on. So I would think the listening and understanding side of communication is going to be called upon in your work environment this month. In relationships, we have the Four of Wands. So that's a really nice card to get in the relationship category. So this is a card for me about milestones. It's traditionally known as the wedding card. So of course, some of you may be getting married or getting engaged, but it's about, if you're single, finding, starting a new relationship. If you're in a relationship, you start calling each other your boyfriend and girlfriend, or your partner or whatever. And if you're, steady with someone, you get engaged or you get married or you have a anniversary, any sort of those milestones that, you're sort of building upon a strong foundation. Four cards, the number 4 is about foundations, strong foundations. This shows, this apropos, it shows a harvest type scene. Harvest, at least in this part of the world, type of feel to it. So you're sort of reaping the rewards of the work you've been doing. So if you've been working, even if you guys have been fighting and you're in a relationship and you've worked on communication, we have communication down here highlighted with the Two of Swords, you're beginning to see results from that, which is really nice. And if you're single, you've set the foundation, so you're actually open and prepared and ready to have a new relationship, which you may not have been in the past. There's lots of work you can do on relationships even when you're single, if you know what I'm saying. Really figuring out what you need and what you want, and how you're feeling about yourself, and if you're ready and receptive to a new relationship, for example, and you're getting there. The next category is home. And we have the Nine of Wands. So I'm a little surprised to see this come up, but the Nine of Wands is about, Wands is a suit about motivation and passion and things we've been working towards and been excited about. And when we get to the 9, we've kind of been through a lot, and it's hard to stay motivated all the way through the numbers. And when you get to the 9, you're like, oh my God, you've been through, criticism and people opposing you, and you've had to defend your position, and you've had to try to keep other people motivated. And you've had some ups and downs, and it's a little bit, you can be a little exhausted at this point and just be like, oh my God, am I ever going to make it? But having been through all those experiences and still be motivated, there's a lot of confidence that can be derived from those types of situations. So I think at home, we may be feeling like a little exhausted maybe, but still we're going to be like, I got this. I can handle this. I sound like Olivia Pope. It's handled. I just keep going. It's all right. And so I guess what I would just say about this card is home should be your sanctuary. And maybe you're just, you get home and you're like, oh, I'm exhausted. And just find ways to sort of recharge yourself so that home isn't just like a place where when you come in, you're just like, oh my God. And it almost has a negative association because, you're just the day is just worn on you so much that when you get home, you're kind of exhausted. Like maybe do a ritual when you step through. I think we talked about this last week. When you step through the door of just taking a deep breath and consciously sort of breathing out negativity, and like when you walk in the door, picture going through like a white light and just leaving negativity outside and feeling like I'm refreshed and I'm home. And little mental visualizations like that actually can do a lot. Taking Epsom salt baths to try to clear away any negativity so that when you're home, you're fresh and you're not unknowingly bringing negativity into your home. And for your spiritual card, we have the Lover's card. So the Lover's card is, of course, about relationships, but the deep, deep meaning of this card, the true meaning of this card is about choice and how you make decisions, which is interesting. So we have two decision cards. We have the Two of Swords and we have the Lovers. So the Lover's card, if you are in a relationship, and we'll use that as a low-hanging fruit, pardon the Adam and Eve pun. The way this plays out is, for example, when you get married, you say yes to someone, right? You say, I do, I take you, I promise all these things. But, that's just one day. Really, to honor a relationship and to honor your commitments, you need to choose that commitment over and over and over and over again. If you start an exercise program, you have to choose to exercise every day. If you're going to start a diet, you have to choose in every single thing you pick up and put in your mouth if you're going to honor that commitment you made to changing your diet. And the same thing goes for a relationship. Of course, you can't choose a relationship every single time to the exclusion of, yourself and your self-care. But it should be chosen, very often, or else the relationship won't work. So same with your spirituality. Try to make a practice of doing like that ritual I was just talking about, like walking into your house. Like try to make sure you do that all the time to help balance and center yourself against, the things that make us sort of exhausted and sort of wear on ourselves throughout our day, and try to really make a commitment towards, and whatever. Spirituality is kind of almost no definition, if you ask me. It's whatever brings you peace and calm and clears your head and makes you feel grounded and better. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for watching. Bye.